Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, everybody, here on Speed Gaming 2. You are tuned into a Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament here on Speed Gaming 2. Here in the group stage, you are watching the Group E race between DeepFried87 and Hitman1382. Read that backwards. Hitman1382 and DeepFried87 on your right. I'm Diamonistic, joined today by Hawk59. How you doing today, Hawk?
Oh, I'm grand, thank you. This is going to be a fun one.
I'm looking forward to it as well. McBoss, as they call it, that's maps and compasses shuffled, as well as boss randomizer, which has been a very interesting mode so far here in this group phase and tournament in general. For those of you who are new to the tournament this year, we did an async qualifier, which is a lot of fun, and this was actually played in the qualifier, so these runners are familiar.
Right, and as we were just discussing amongst ourselves, it's an interesting setup with the maps and compasses. Normally, like I said, you wouldn't be looking for compasses, but otherwise you're going to be face checking a bunch of bosses. Worst thing to do is, hey, I can clear Eastern Palace, and then you run right into a Trinex. So,
hey, and sometimes you might just find a multiple-eyed Moldorm in a place where it does not make a whole lot of sense. So, all of the challenges of all the boss rooms multiplied by the unknowing of randomizer. It'll be very fun to watch.
Yeah, maybe you think we're going to get a helicopter today?
That would be simply fantastic. That would make my entire day.
Those are the best parts about randomizer is when you see them in just the worst possible locations.
Yeah, so for our sake as the viewers, would be wonderful. For them, I'm pretty sure all of the runners playing McBoss are really hoping not. So here we are. We're off to the start. Off of the races, got a piece of heart here in Link's house, and we're both heading towards the castle, which is fun.
Yeah, double uncle start.
I do enjoy that for the opportunity to do a early tree pull, a couple of early items, and you can always bail and head to Sanctuary if you don't like what you're seeing here.
Right, I like it. If you luck out and have some kind of a weapon before going, you can possibly get front of escape out of the way, so you don't have to worry about it later.
This is, of course, an open world state, so we have the diversity of choice. There is a standard start mixed in with all the modes, so we will get to see a little bit of both. Well, all three, actually, if you include Ambrosia. So really stretching to attempt to understand all of the game modes in order to begin this tournament. We're going to get a save and quit from both of our players, actually. DeepFried a little bit faster on the gun. Right, and nothing too exciting out of the Sanctuary. Walking into Kakariko with a little bit of resources. Maybe enough for some bombs if we're lucky with... well, I guess, yeah, we'll have the blue rupees in the back of Blindside if we do get one bomb. And not much else to our name, so we're going to see both runners head towards the Lumberjack checks. Ooh, but a skip from Hitman.
Ooh, getting some bombs from the crab. That's nice.
Now, Hitman does have access to another bush crab here in the forest, so he could potentially get that.
It looks like both are avoiding checking Lumberjack Ledge, too. That's interesting.
Now, a lot of folks will do that just because they don't have the boots. Me personally, if I'm already there, I want to check it either way, but, some people win races off of making smart heads-up decisions like this. Well, as they make their way through Lost Woods, that's a cane of Burna. Unfortunately, a potential weapon for something like a Lamolus, which you do not want to see. So we're really hoping for another weapon.
Could use it against Armos as well.
Yes, there's a lot of suffering involved with that. Although it's better than a boomerang.
I've never had to do it, but I've heard things.
No, I mean, it's fun casually. All right, both well-equipped with bombs here. DeepFried up just one in the resource count. Got a glove here in Blind's Hut. Wow, sword. One of our titular maps. And more bombs for a refund. So no time wasted, no effort wasted. We haven't maxed out that bomb meter from either of these two. Now, with the maps being shuffled, for those of you who don't play these modes too often, that will give us information about these dungeons, so we will be able to find out what our crystals are, you know, from what we can gather out of those maps. This is, of course, a 7/7 seed. You know, you do yourself to defeat Ganon, so all of these goals kind of in the back of our minds as we gather more of these.
Double sword. All right. Okay, so now I'm pulling for lamp with only logical dark world access being Aga.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are rapidly approaching that potential scenario. A lot of blue going on in our inventory with that ice
yeah. One half of Trinex down. All right.
we are due for a boomerang, I think. We are blue for a boomerang.
Oh, and blue mail. Get a bottle with a blue goo.
Yeah, I mean the opportunities are still there to, you know, extend this even further. As we make our way towards the end of the Kakariko checks, though, we are still step in step. Having spent those rupees at the merchant, we do not have a lot to work with leaving here.
Yes, thanks, Miandem. Chat is informing me. Ice Ride is only a third of Trinex. Correct.
Ah. Half of the item puzzle.
Correct.
1/3 of the boss. Well, that's one way to get ahead of the boss, but you know, you gotta stick your neck out for that one.
Ooh. Is that what I'm in for today?
Maybe. Listen, I could have warned you, but
no.
we don't do that around here.
Nothing wrong with that.
Chat already wise to this. Anyway, heading to the back of Escape here. Hitman following the glove down to the depths, as DeepFried says. South Shore time for me. Feeling a little bit more about that blue.
So yeah, first divergence. Let's see. Oh, hammer.
Yeah, I'd say that was a good call. This is interesting. With only 3 hearts, you know, running back from the back of Escape to Dark Cross, definitely doable with, you know, sword beams and all that, but it is time sink. So this is a calculated decision by Hitman following that hammer further in.
And the dam didn't give us anything, so let's do the rest of the shore here on DeepFried's side.
Yeah, it is much more appealing to do this with the healthy bomb stack and sword beams. Oh, it's so satisfying. This mini Molder stood no chance. And they're on the good prize pack, too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I think we know who made the right call on that decision at this point. Let's see how long it takes DeepFried to get to that area.
Yeah, you notoriously have to get pearls before swine in this game, so doing that now, gigantic world advantage. That's glove plus hammer plus moon pearl. Hitman at 8 minutes. Not even. Dark World. Now, this could also work against him. If there's not a lot here in early Dark World, this could be a whole lot of checks that are potentially more efficient to do with Mirror later.
Right. Sometimes it is interesting. The first person to get Dark World, and causes their routing to take just way longer than if they were to come back and do it later.
I do like Hitman's odds, though, following that hammer immediately. great choice in general. Pipe Cave, not going to live up to its old name pretty much ever, I feel like, anymore. But there's still a lot that he can do here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hitman can get the stuff going west, but will get stopped by the Titan's Myths requirements. Can head towards Palace of Darkness as well, but can't finish it.
And another thing about this mode, since we have map shuffled, we do not know the crystal count, but we did just learn from the bomb salesman that Swamp and what was the other one was Pod. Yeah, Pod are our red crystals.
That's great info. That's 4 crystals in the Dark World that Hitman knows about. Good news for DeepFried, not getting further behind off of that hammer, really getting it pretty early in the route. If you get that in the first 10 minutes, that's 2 minutes behind heading to Dark World if he goes right now.
Yes, but he chose to save and quit out of the back, so he's not going to get the pearl.
Correct. Yes, and that leads me to think that we're probably going to see that lamp here in the eastern area, hopefully, for DeepFried's sake. Getting some money farming going on here. What in the Fletchery is this? Oh, this man's got some skill. Hitman pretty efficient with that. That's going to be enough for the big game and even more. Didn't really spend a lot of time doing that.
Ooh, there's the lamp and blue mail. So yeah, so maybe that lamp draws deep back to castle. We'll see.
Yeah, and the really tough part about that is you want to have the mirror to get back into the castle. There's not really a good way to go back to the castle at this point, unless you're planning to do the front half. And from DeepFried perspective, I don't see a reason you'd want to until you've exhausted everything.
Right. It seems like it'll be a last location, but we'll see what we get in Eastern. There is always the chance that he's got Master Sword, he's got Lamp. He's thinking, well, maybe I need to do Aga, so that might bring him to the castle, and he might do the front of Escape and Dark Cross before he decides to do Aga, and just do a Death Warp. That could be a thought process.
Yeah, and one potential pain point here would be like finding a hook shot, which is good in general for the big picture, but not great for finding that Moon Pearl. Anything that extends this Aghanim play.
Yeah, with Glove and Lamp too, he has mountain access also. So I mean, he's got more checks before he would need to say, "Hey, the only thing I have left is the castle."
So a fork in the road for DeepFried, while Hitman has probably seen like 4 or 5 extra forks in the road at this point, and a few daggers from these mini Moldorms. Gotta watch out here. Half a heart. I do appreciate the temerity to not go after that fairy first. Oof. Some very excellent dungeoneering going on from DeepFried here with a very fast Stalfos room. On the way to the back of the dungeon, got that big key. No bow to speak of, so we're checking items here. And unfortunately cannot get to the actual boss. That money's interesting.
Right, yes. Make a trip up to see the scam fish.
Yeah, that glove is the only thing we logically need to go there right now. If we had flippers, of course, we could take the whirlpool instead. Okay, so Hitman going the long way to get to Village of Outcasts, wasting no time trying to get the Dark World portion of this seed out of the way. A couple of extraneous checks out there. Gina's cave, of course. So we'll see if any of those weird non sequiturs end up coming into play. But right now, it looks like Hitman's going the distance for density.
Right. Answer a question in chat. Yes, looks like the biggest routing difference was Hitman decided to do Dark Cross while doing Back of Escape, which got him the Moon Pearl, which gave him early Dark Pearl access, whereas DeepFried save and quit out of Back of Escape, so he has not made it to get his Moon Pearl yet. So he is rapidly running out of additional checks to do before he gets to that point, but...
Yeah, and we haven't reached a point yet where this is, really hurting DeepFried. It depends on how much time gets wasted on some of these potentially slower checks. It's worth it to get the old man, rescued. You got to do it pretty much anyway.
Right. And, he could come across some items that maybe don't open up new checks, but will help him in the long run. Like you said, hook shot, which will give you a few more checks. But things like hook shot, he could find mirror, he could find fire rod, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's probably DeepFried's best shot to gain time back on Hitman for sniffing out that Moon Pearl is you get the opportunity to combo mirror with more checks, and that would be phenomenal. That would save a lot of time on the overworld traversal. But as I mentioned, something like a hook shot, definitely faster movement. Plenty of ways that DeepFried can kind of worm through some of the advantage of getting that early Moon Pearl. Speaking of early Moon Pearls, 15 minutes in, here we are in Thieves Town with pretty decent equipment for it.
And Hitman does have the compass, so we were able to see that the boss of thieves is a Moldorm. So instead of blind, we'll get to see the caterpillar.
And definitely not a bad arena for him either.
No, better than his normal one.
Nice palace compass and our first bottle, DeepFried finding at the top of the mountain, getting stonewalled by that last location on the mountain.
Oh, Keebs. Yes, Blind Dorm is Blind Dorm.
No eye dorm. I say that, but we might just get the 7-eye monstrosity.
Probably likely.
If anybody out there has not played that's a flipper in the middle of Thieves Town. If you haven't played a boss shuffle randomization, Moldorm does frequently appear with extra eyes and is usually some kind of eldritch horror. Although I want to say my favorite arena for Moldorm by far has to be Skullwoods.
That's the one where he doesn't really stretch out, right? Because of the floor and everything.
It ain't right. Let's just say that.
4. He's got 4.
Well, the bespectacled Moldorm, Mr. Four Eyes. Just 3 quick taps, and that is it for that boss. Hitman, of course, opting to do this now since you do not need to return, the maiden here to activate the fight, so you may as well do the front this way. You can even bail out if you don't really want to stick around. I kind of feel like you go back in, though.
Yeah, I wasn't counting items, so I'm not 100% sure how many he has left in there, but you got everything to be able to clear the dungeon, and you can just death warp from the back.
Yeah, it's definitely a different story if you don't have hammer. Stuff like that. And then, we've still got the rest of the normal Dark World Overworld loop. Hitman did do most of the lower half, so we could go across the north side, potentially. You could even kern jump over if you wanted to, but hard to say. I think you go south just through Village of Outcasts and finish that all up, as we get a death warp from DeepFried.
Yep, and with the blue mail, he's going to need 2 bombs for it.
Yeah, that blue mail, a product of the Eastern Palace area with Sahasrala's shack. DeepFried is going to end up with that Moon Pearl here very soon, which is great because there weren't a whole lot of things left to do.
Right, and then at least as far as we know, that precludes him from having to do Castle Towers. So
yeah, for the time being, we did actually look at Lumberjack, I think. So that is actually still on the table. We hope not. I do like that DeepFried made the choice to come back here with 500 rupees in the wallet. Said, you know what, this is better. I don't want to do Zora.
Right, yeah.
And that does open the opportunity for a mirror later to give us the Quakefish into Zora. So a lot of the opportunity left on the table for routing with DeepFried here. We do not see a mirror yet, so probably not going to be able to capitalize on that, but who knows? Early pod could be fruitful.
Yeah, we'll see if the Dark World route from Fried is different than what Hitman did.
Yeah, somewhat unconscionable to think that you wouldn't do Hype Cave first, but from where you go from there, harder to say.
Yeah, it's probably likely that he'll go left here. I do like knowing that Pod is green pendant. Or no, Pod was not green pendant. Pod was red crystal. That's a Hero's green pendant. Knowing it's a red crystal, then can't get to the back without the bow. So we'll have to see.
Now, of course, our runners have no guarantee of killing any bosses that they don't have the compass for anyway. So even going through, you can be a bit of a crapshoot, so to speak. You're not entirely sure. That is a very rude bush guard. Hitman, furious.
But it looks like he is gonna do at least pyramid check here, probably into Catfish.
Now, I understand the pyramid. If we go all the way to Catfish hoping for that mirror, I admire DeepFried's optimism. And that would be probably the best possible place for mirror.
Okay, our first medallion is Ether out of Skullwood's big chest. We might need that for Maya or TR. We don't know yet.
Hitman turned into a one-hit man, going into the back half of Skull Woods here at the safe point. Very dangerous to be rolling around with so little health. But that is the pitfalls of being in the main tournament, trying to compete at a high level.
Right, and good use of the bloomerang to get those gibbos to leave him alone. Oh, and he finds the boots. Whoa.
That's phenomenal. Had to dodge a lot of stuff for that. I mean, there was a very close navigation to get to the back of that room. So, Hitman with a early advantage. This is one of those few qualitative things that makes it easier to say where somebody has a definitive lead. Boots are a huge, in most scenarios.
Yes,
huge
correct.
Advantage. Now, DeepFried's route, unless he has hookshot, is very unlikely to go to Skullwoods quickly. Although I would say after this you're probably going to go to Village of Outcast, right?
Yeah, I would think you find out here. We're going to find out here if Pod is bow locked. Now that does not preclude him from stopping. Okay, and it's not. But yes, I would think after Pod, unless something massive comes out of it, we're going to probably save and quit back to Sank and then start on the west side of the Dark World.
That's another classic case of dungeons having different implications just on the basis of map and compass. Skull Woods here, more valuable than normal. Very more valuable than normal. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, two movement items, flute and boots in Skull Woods. Crazy.
The booty fluty Mothula. Not even worth hanging out for, obviously, because we don't have that fire rod. Hitman having extracted everything he could out of that dungeon.
That was a loaded Skull Woods for sure.
So it was like a loaded baked potato, Yeah. What's the chives in this scenario?
Just a heart container, probably.
Probably. Under the bridge.
Right.
More
Well,
cash money.
I guess if we're looking for food item, would probably be mushroom then.
Okay. I've never had mushroom on a baked potato before, but
Nor I, but
it is a
there
loaded
isn't many
baked
food
potato.
options in Hyrule, apparently.
You could find a tempered sword, and then you'd have a bacon baked potato.
Ah, see, that's smart. Smarter than what I was going with.
We like our memes here. We haven't had breakfast. I haven't, at least. All right, activation of the flute here as we creep towards the half-hour point. Hitman having done quite a lot. Deep fried here. Looking for a hammer yum? Ooh, you love to see it. Not required on the key basis, but does still save time. Taking pause buffers to great effect to get that double Y pixel perfect placement, and that is enough to get to the back.
Oh, go mode. Let's go.
As disappointing as a single arrow and a heart container can be, there's
your bacon.
Now there's the tempered sword. Finding that heart container on Magic Bat still pretty useful at this point. Well, there's that combat advantage that Deep Fried probably wanted pretty desperately.
Right.
When you're in a McBoss, seed, having a tempered sword is more of an advantage than a normal race, I think. Last thing you want to deal with is Vitreous without the equipment. Okay, that'll be Lamp here for Hitman as Deep Fried goes further into Palace of Darkness.
Deep Fried's not liking the Vanilla Big Key location.
No, he did all the hammer yum. He's very upset about that. To return again another time, hopefully better equipped with, able to make the boss quiver. Alright, so as you had foretold, Deep Fried sank and quit. Not literally, but I wish there was more opportunities to use the sank and quit glitch. Are you familiar with it?
No, that's new to me. Which one's that?
So there's this goofy property in the game. I don't know why this is the case, but if you get electrocuted by an enemy and then hit save and quit, it brings you back automatically to the sanctuary, saving you from having to do the save and quit selection menu.
Huh.
It's called sank and quit.
So something like the blueberries or
any enemy that can electrocute you.
Right. Okay.
Extremely niche use case, but
totally. But
if you're in
folks,
Pod,
now you know.
If you were in the wrong part of Pod, you could potentially use that. It does not save much time.
Right. Yeah. Well. Probably looks cool. It'd be something to put up, have our runners show.
Sorry, my humble opinion. I think you win the race if you do that. Righty, Village of Outcast time. Deep Fried, sitting on a huge stack of money. Has no more concerns on the resource front. Except for health. Good lord, 4 to work with. I'm going to make the right decision, though, in the grand scheme of things, going to Skullwoods first. As long as he can fish out the items, this should be good.
Yeah, looks good. Structural Mike in chat saying that it actually can put you at Uncle if that's where you were last instead, apparently.
That is even more exotic behavior I had no idea about. That is great information.
That's something I love about this game, is that all of these things that people are finding that, coded into the game for, 30 years now.
Yeah, this is truly a bottomless well of information. Well, this is a not-so-great spike cave, unfortunately. Hitman was kind of stretched to resource limits. I mean, that is very low magic to work with, and not a whole lot of hearts. So,
All right, it was close, and he didn't really get much out of it.
Good knowledge to do that. So, Hitman here running out of good things to do, or running low on good things to do, will head to the front of castle at this point. Eddie, DeepFried very quickly getting the boots and flute here. Will not have the ability to go to the boss, so will almost certainly be doing the south loop from here. I will say Hitman definitely enjoying and reaping the benefits of having boots going into escape sequence. This is so much nicer.
Right.
There's an Ice Palace map. We do have the Ice Palace compass, if I recall correctly, so that is a lot of information available to us about what we can expect in there. Looks like DeepFried will head east from the forest here in the Dark World, so that's going to give us Bumper Cave check to look at, scout out for 20 rupees, which we don't need, and we'll probably head south from there, so that's pretty efficient. Twist of cosmic fate to get that Skullwoods compass like right after, actually.
Right.
Having been there.
I am checking. I do not believe there was a gap in our video of it, but I don't think Deep went to the back of Skull, so I don't think he got the boots.
Yeah, I think we've all at some point forgotten to use boots, but at this point, if you had just got them, you definitely didn't.
I'm checking his stream, and it does look like he does not have it marked on his tracker, so
that's unfortunate. So we'll probably not find those boots unless we find that fire rod, because DeepFried has pretty much committed to walking away from that. Did you by any chance see that lumberjack?
No, I missed it because I was checking the other stream. Dang it!
It was just very quick, so I mean, I might not have even been very visible. Bombs, according to chat. Okay.
Yes. So.
Well, as our runners retread previously traveled ground, except for Hitman, who's heading to Ice Ride Cave, which I don't think we saw before. Good time to point out, the scenario these two runners are in right now, currently in the grand scheme of the tournament. Both of these two are from Group E, as you can see from the top of the screen with that McBoss indicator. DeepFried, of the two racers playing today, is the only one with a win so far, having recently taken a single win. This is actually Hitman's first race of the tournament so far in the group phase. Right now, their group has Skelly, or I guess probably known as Skellebro, with 2 wins, and Koi currently at the bottom of the stack with 3 losses, which is uncharacteristic in my opinion. I'm just kind of surprised to see that.
It was, unfortunate for Koi. He had three tough races against 2 against Skelly and 1 against Deep. So, and I believe, looking at the schedule, I think Hitman has 2 races today. So he's got this one against DeepFried, and then he will be playing Koi later this evening.
Yeah, that's a big day in general. I mean, that's the strength of the group format. We get an opportunity to see people in multiple different scenarios. That is Titan's mitts under the bridge. Oh, apparently 3 races today for Hitman, so this is a big, big day.
Skelly Bro saying, yeah, he's also playing him. Okay, man, that's rough for sometimes, because you're get the seed bleed. Luckily, hopefully, with the multiple formats.
Yeah, I would say that's probably one thing that's likely to make it a little less confusing.
Though it is not entirely impossible that he would play 2 McBosses in the same day or something.
All right, Deep Fried has finished off the multiple-eyed Moldorm. We'll head away from the dungeon. So Deep Fried taking some chances here.
Right. I don't believe there was anything in the back of Thieves, so it's actually a good call that as long as he doesn't end up going back there later, it's going to give him a little bit of time.
But yeah, so we bring up the other races in the group because, as you mentioned before, Hitman has all 3 of those today. That one versus Koi, if you're looking for that one, will be at 9:10 p.m. tonight on ALTTP Randomizer channel. As for Hitman, the race versus Skelly Bro will be at 4:10 p.m. Doesn't currently have a channel. If you are a commentator out there, might be able to help make that a reality, as well as a tracker. Yeah. Anyway, personal tournament plug aside.
Yeah, good marketing there.
Deep Fried
Recruiting.
heading eastward through the full loop as Hitman getting a couple of boots checks out of the way. Smart use of Titan's bits. Unfortunately, not going to pull anything out of the tomb.
Yeah, and I do think, oh man, it'll be interesting to see what Deep does, because I feel like Hitman's got a little bit of a lead, and then he's just going to be slowly adding to it since he's got boots. So just makes everything a little bit more quick and efficient. Coefficient, yeah, there you go. We can make new words here.
I don't like the word coefficient. It doesn't seem efficient to me. So the portmanteau between the two. I'm definitely working coefficient into my work vocabulary ASAP. Alrighty, I have not seen this, but it looks like it's going to be Ether to get into Meyer, which is exciting for everybody but Hitman.
Yeah, he's deciding this doesn't want to go in, doesn't want to dip it. Was it? I'm wondering, was it just because lack of cane, lack of hook shot, or fire rod, or do you think because he didn't have a compass or to know if what the boss was? I don't know. Just curious.
I think
deciding not wanting to dip.
In the space between the Meyer shed and the Meyer entrance, he said yes to those questions.
Okay, there you go. Also, as somebody pointed out in chat, he was short on magic, so maybe he just couldn't activate the ether medallion anyways.
True, that is a many feels bad out of 10. So Hitman opting to grab a couple of one-offs. These are some potential routing inefficiencies that give Deep Fried some opportunity to work his way back in, despite the boots disadvantage. Waterfall Cave here at Deep Fried, who is probably going to extend this all the way into Zora. Opportunity for a free bottle refill as well.
And she replaces it with another B.
Did I say free bottle refill? I meant B bottle refill, right?
B bottle refill.
It sure seems like dungeons are loaded today. Our overworld has not been very fruitful. Deep Fried gonna take a dip as a quick shortcut here. Time to spend some cash. Is that cape for item parity? So, gonna get a little bit of a world tour here out of Hitman, taking the dwarf away from the spot and get a flute off of the mountain. So not so much of a tour, actually. More like a detour.
exactly. That is what that word means.
You know, we skipped over A tour, B tour, and C tour.
Ooh, Smith pan out. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so Hitman looking back through the logic here to reflect on what his opportunities are. Alrighty, Desert. Now accessible through that Smith locked mirror. Hitman does have boots and fire. Looking pretty appealing, actually.
And with the map, we do know it is a crystal, so.
I don't believe we have the compass for this, but if we do, we could potentially extrapolate some information there as well. Yeah, rough scenario for DeepFried. It's not exactly obvious what the right decision is here. Okay, gonna mirror back to get to the big chest.
Yeah. Mirror making this so much faster, so that's good. Couldn't get here without it, so it's not like it's an advantage or anything, but
man, does that feel good with boots.
Right. Definitely.
You know, of all the reasons that the the hero of legend, as the lore would declare this version of Link, is the best Link, is because you don't even have to get sand boots. You know, we don't got to do the whole Breath of the Wild thing. We don't got to con somebody into thinking we're Gerudo.
Right, yeah.
That's what Link from this game has. Integrity. Although, to be fair, that guy kind of deserves it for being a creep. Alrighty, no need for sand boots, snow boots. We got just the Pegasus boots. Hitman extending as many opportunities as possible off of those boots, and you know, it's starting to show signs of having paid off, as most of the overworld checks have been done, and DeepFried is still looking through it.
And we'll see what Deep's going to do here. Going back to the village portal. So, where are we going, Deep? What are we going to do?
It was an Argus. Probably the most hilarious dungeon for Argus, in my opinion, just on a theming basis.
Yeah, he's going to dry out.
The thought occurred to me that this could be a knockoff Pokemon reference, a sand splash.
Yep. Made me chuckle, so I'll give it to you.
Well, Checkerboard Cave not being the best check, we do not really care for Sparkly Boomerang having the blue boomerang already. Certainly no strat reasons to care that much about spending the time on it.
Yeah, we already have the best one anyways, it doesn't matter. We're finally visiting Agina here. He's been lonely, so.
And his wrath has been, we've been spared of his wrath today.
Yes.
Never fun to be 40-something minutes into the seed to check this.
So then we'll just rob him.
Team always check Agina, in my opinion, but hey, not burned today. Alright, Mirror does give us the opportunity to head to the top of the mountain. Looks like DeepFried's on the same path right now, so A little bit of Hera exploration, spelunkery, and should be able to abstract some more information about the overall picture as we make our way east through the mountain.
Cold stare at the top of the tower. So that is currently unaccessible. Can't break the shell without fire rod or bombos. Hitman saying no hook shot, big key in the basement. Meh, I'm done.
No hook, no problems. You know, I'm out.
Boots were in the back half of Skullwoods, the Gibbo prison.
Floating island found to be lacking here. Just 10 arrows and minor fletchery going on. Hitman, unfortunately, getting, well, not sank and quit opportunity, but frustration from the berry. DeepFried not far behind him, but will take quite a lot longer through this spiral cave.
Just another moment where those boots are stretching that difference.
Indeed. Well, hopefully the clinking will be, metaphorical and not literal, as we are continuously running into nothing, and certainly not attaching to any kind of real progression yet. You kind of expect it here, though. I mean, come on. It's Paradox Cave. There's 7 checks here.
Right.
One thing that surprised me so far is we've not seen a lot of opportunity for DeepFried to take advantage of that weapon advantage. And I'm wondering when that's going to rear its head, because that is a significant combat advantage.
Well, and maybe you can answer this. So with it being boss shuffle, oh, there's the hook shot too.
Nice.
That's nice. Now you can kill that Argus. Of the bosses that are available to us, we can't beat Trinex currently. Looks like Hitman can now beat Argus. Can't beat Cold Stare. So we're really just looking for, hoping for Armos Knights. We could beat them. Be rough, but we could do it. Landmo, Moldorm, which we've already seen one of.
Vitreous is certainly doable. Not nice, but doable.
Yeah, definitely not fun without some various items. Though Cape, they could leverage that.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. And then, of course, Mothula wouldn't be too rough either.
Moth, the boss that benefits so much from their arena.
Yeah, so no Moth of the Flame opportunities yet, but, we still have pretty good equipment to work with. That is a bombos to get into Turtle Rock. No confirmation yet off of the maps whether or not we need Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we are. I believe the only questions we have are what Skullwoods, Eastern, and Turtle Rock are. So, of those 3, 2 of them will be pendants.
I find it fascinating that we're so close in overall placement where we're at in the world, considering the difference in boots. We've seen DeepFried skip a couple things, and all things that we know don't have value. The back of
Save the boots.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one thing that's
burning him. But yes, and then we find the bow and Super Bunny.
So that's interesting because DeepFried hasn't had a boots location yet that's hurt, and really it's just been the movement. And if DeepFried continues to make good skips, those boots might not be that critical.
Right, even without boots, it could keep them close.
Of course, the whole picture becomes more complicated the further you go without them, and Hitman, definitely has more opportunity to pull ahead just using the boots alone. So, not going to leave Argus on the table. Hitman going all the way to the back here again. But a double visit is definitely a time sink, so necessary, but Hitman has given some time on this. Oh, swamp check?
That's what it looks like. And Chad is pointing out that if Deep can find the fire rod probably sooner rather than later, that's all the more reason to head back to Skullwoods. So probably the only thing that will bring him back there, unless it is he's running out of options. So.
Well, the not very fun Argus fight, but Hitman did make pretty short order of the boss, taking advantage of the ice rod, which is nice and fun. Maybe a little awkward and disjointed to use, but we'll at least save some sword swings.
Yeah, get you three cycles.
I want a tricycle pun, but I don't have it. Just want the world to know I was thinking of one.
Okay, there you go. Good.
It doesn't count, but maybe somebody in chat's funnier than me. It's pretty likely.
Humor is subjective.
Alrighty, Hitman flying away has gathered the boss token and heading towards Pod and Eastern with that bow. Very smart decision.
Right, this will be his first dip into Pod, so he'll get that sword. I believe that was where we got the third sword. So that sword advantage doesn't really give Deep anything at this point because Hitman's about to get it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Deep because some of these specific advantages are kind of necessary to pay out when you're this long without the boots. But I mean, there are ways to make back multiple minutes in a race, and I would not count out DeepFried on boots alone.
Oh no, agreed. Hey, they're in main tournament, right? They are both good runners, so we will see. What he can find, what skips he can make, maybe routing choices, and he can find a way to make up some of that time. So,
yeah, the tail of the tape so far for those of you entering late into the picture, as we see a really nice diver down from DeepFried. Most of the world has been explored as far as the overworld goes. We had a boots difference in Skullwoods where DeepFried gathered the flute that was there, but not the boots that were in the back, locked behind those two Gibdos. So Hitman has been enjoying a boots advantage for quite a while here, but neither of our runners have done very many dungeons for completion. The McBoss rearing its ugly head because some of these have been inaccessible and some of them have been unkillable.
Went back for the big chest. Check the boss's landmo, so we can beat them. Will Deep get mad when he finds the boots? I believe he will be frustrated, yes. Because that was a conscious decision he made to not do that one check.
Which, I mean, we all kind of understand where his head was at. 4 hearts, not a very friendly place to be. And Hitman, to his credit, made it through that room with a single heart. And
I think it was half a heart, actually.
Yeah, he scraped by. And then there was some of the movement in there was sketchy. It was not in terms of skill, but in terms of hey, that was a little too close.
Right.
So, I mean, defensible decisions. Just not going to be the best case for DeepFried.
It also was how the routing of the dungeon itself played out. I believe Hitman needed. Did he do that back first before doing all of the front checks? I think he didn't get a key, and so he went to the back. to grab the key from under the skull.
That sounds right.
Whereas Deep dropped down, so he was able to get a key, so he didn't actually need to go get that other key.
Right, and with the longer loop, DeepFried had a different decision to make. Well, Lamb is taken care of relatively efficiently. Bringing DeepFried into striking range with 2 crystals apiece. However, Hitman charging through here, about to finish up Palace of Darkness real quick. Both of our runners have been in Palace of Darkness, did not have the ability to clear it first try. A little bit of a turtle siesta going on there as they've flipped over. You don't want a turtle fiesta.
Ooh, Deep is going back in for left side swamp. That was not the call I thought he would make, so that's a shock to me. So
that suggests to me, although I'm kind of just casting aspersions here, but it suggests to me that DeepFried expected something out of that big chest, or was hoping to find an item that was really critical here in Swamp specifically.
And we got a vanilla Helma. Well, that's boring. Not that the fight was too challenging with that Master Sword, but I think when Hitman gets that 3rd sword, he'll be, well, I wish I would have had this before coming down here, so.
It was a really awkward setup for DeepFried, having returned to the dungeon. Now has to go the long way around just to get the key.
Correct, yeah.
No diver down opportunity.
I've always, my own thought process and what I've, when talking with other runners, it's if you're going to do left side swamp, you do it first. And if you don't, then you should just hope it doesn't burn you later. So we'll see if he's making the right call here. Because like you said, having to do the key the long way, it adds time to an already challenging time sink.
Yeah. And I think this lends credence to the idea that we're seeing, between us and in chat, that DeepFried might be feeling kind of behind here.
Vortex saying that though with the mirror, getting the mirror out of here, it will save a little bit of time by not doing the diver down. So.
Right, that is a mechanical advantage to this particular path. Well, half magic is good, but
yeah, not progression, but it can help in the long run. It could definitely help if Hitman decides not to do left side swamp, and I don't know, he could run out of magic at some point on the climb, perhaps.
Yeah, the tough part is that Hitman does get the tempered sword here, so. The magic is likely to be a moot point, but who knows?
Okay, and nothing of value in the big chest that Deep skipped, so, or was unable to get.
Speaking of some skips, DeepFried will be able to do all this in one go, so that is a routing advantage overall.
Ooh, there he goes. He picks up the Turtle Rock map, which will give us, I think, Hitman avoided that map on the ledge there, so we'll be able to see.
That's an interesting choice to miss that map.
If that map, if Turtle Rock is a crystal, then we know Skull and Eastern are both pendants. So.
And while it's unlikely that you don't need the fire rod in Turtle Rock, because technically you can get the key logic to avoid the torch rooms, the fire rod requirements are not exactly obvious here, or rather, what we need the fire rod for.
Right. Based only on information that we have, it could be used for the back of Skull Woods. We haven't seen a Trinex yet, so that is still possible. I don't believe have we doubled up a boss yet? I don't think we have.
No, I have not seen a double boss yet. We also have a rogue cane sitting out there, which we definitely will need. And I'm not entirely sure where to expect it at this point. It kind of feels like Ice Palace, maybe?
That seems like something the game would do. Make you go the long way to get it. Put it in a icebreaker chest.
If we reach this point of collective trauma that we all feel this way about the generator.
Yep. So what's it? Blame Sinek?
There's a lot of people in that blame chain.
Oh yeah. Nah. I think we blame ourselves for choosing this punishment that we put ourselves through.
This is self-inflicted. Well, Hitman going to gain a little bit of time back over DeepFried's earlier Eastern Palace traversal using hookshot and spin speed and boots, the whole gamut, and also doing this in one go. Well, I say that, but we haven't seen boss, so. Okay, our guy, the desert guy, I actually never counted the puffs, to be honest with you. What is it, like 12? Does anybody count the puffs? Like, I don't count the Reese's Puffs when I eat them. Alright, should be a very fast boss kill, though. And we're going to find out from Hitman, there may have been information about this. I'm just not aware of it.
Right, personally. Yeah, I don't remember. So, easy moth.
And a crystal apiece. Or rather, a boss token apiece. I was wrong about that.
Yeah, that's okay. You're close. Looks we learned Eastern's a pendant, so now it is between Skull and Turtle Rock. So
the interesting side
we can get a map chest. Oh, Turtle Rock is the other pendant, so Skull Woods is the last crystal.
And that makes our fire rod required for that. It's interesting because here's another example of DeepFried, that pendant dungeon, he does not need to go back for Eastern Palace. And as long as DeepFried follows that principle of it's dead to me, should save overall over Hitman, who even though had with one pass and boots, spin speed and all the movement, still had to go all the way to the boss. So that's interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. And it is, it's... Again, Deep's gonna feel bad when he gets those boots, but it is. It doesn't seem like it's gonna bite him too bad since he is gonna have to go back there. So
we do, of course, still have some opportunity for boots requirement. It's I feel a little evil saying that, to be honest, but there is a GT Big Key possibility. I'm trying to think, is there anything else the boots locked at this point that we haven't seen?
I don't believe so, no. I think that would be the last thing. Maybe chat can verify, but...
I mean, given the early boots access, that's astonishing to me.
True, and I will say that it's little things like when Hitman is doing Meyer here. Meyer is one of those dungeons that you can save a lot of time with a lot of long walks.
I mean, Swamp as well. That's the other example of this is a huge time sink that you would gain a lot of time back on.
Boots are in the prison chests or the back of Skullwoods. Back half, not the bridge chest.
The center split? I don't know.
Yeah. That's not bad way to think of it. I'm not a fan of Hitman's color palette, making it look like a palace of urine here.
Yeah, this is unpleasant. I'm just gonna say that. Unpleasant is the only word I've got for that. Well, you don't like to fish things out of a sewer palace, but that is, I'm gonna take Keys in chat's cue on that one. Meyer, in the meantime, here for Deep Fried. You know, you do save a lot of time with the boots, but making efficient work of things. Has half magic. It does not have a fire rod, so actually this kind of is a little painful.
Right. This could, you know, watch this be fire rod here in cutscene chest. Get a fire locked fire rod.
Truly would represent a victory for chat. More bomb diver downs all abound. Hitman here heading to the west side of the dungeon, going to do left side swamp, get that half magic. It is, however, time sink that Deep Fried needed Hitman to do. Because, I mean, that half magic probably doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of the race, and that is extra time spent that Deep Fried probably desperately needs.
Correct.
Okay, this is now Werner's Palace for all of my Midwest fans. Ginger ale.
It's a good one, too.
I swear, we are not sponsored, but if Werner's fans are out there, I'm sorry, Werner's reps.
Yeah.
Okay, make our way to the east side of Misery Mire. Deep Fried at least has the hookshot to work with. This is awkward otherwise. Maybe it's like a...
Ooh, vanilla red cane. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it turns this from a dip to, well, let's just finish it.
And things in Swamp, relatively speaking, the sulfuric smell is what it sure seems like. As Hitman's going to run to the back here and not really find anything else. Deep Fried chugging along right to the boss. At least to find out what the boss is. I don't think we have the compass for this, do we?
I don't believe so, no. He has not opened his map, so.
0% fun to go check Meyer boss.
Yeah, especially if you can't beat it and you have to come back because it's just such a long trip.
Would like to thank chat for reminding me that a item counter does indicate we have that compass. I don't know why that wasn't sticking out to me.
There you go. I haven't seen him open the map yet, so either he did it quicker than I could see, or chat is saying it's Argus, so he must have looked.
Alright, so that makes Argus one of the repeats. And not the worst dungeon to be fighting Argus in. I mean, it's not fun if you go to the top of the screen, but you can at least manipulate that.
Yes.
And certainly less painful to do this time around with Tempered. So far, I think it was just Hitman who had a Master Sword fight against Argus earlier.
Correct. We have the debate going on about the quality of this mode.
I gotta say, you know, Hitman coming back here for this big chest, defensible decision, but really helping Deep Fried out.
Right. That is, I mean, even the, what, 30 seconds, minute it took?
Yeah, that adds up, and that counts when you don't have boots. Hitman will continue this westwards into the mirror check.
Okay, fire rod.
Now that puts us in a situation of knowing what we need. Hitman, however, does not have that Canis Samaria yet. And unfortunately, will not be able to find that in Ice Palace, which is where he appears to be going. More opportunities for DeepFried here. I'm impressed at how DeepFried's hung in there.
Yeah, it's impressive. He also, not that this should change Hitman's routing too much, but he left that map on the desert ledge, so he doesn't know that Turtle Rock is the final pendant. So he could be... that could guide his choices. Maybe he avoids Skullwoods, though. I think it's a quick and easy. You get back there and beat the boss and find out what you need.
Yeah, the upside for Hitman here on that front is, you're not going to guess wrong with Turtle Rock lacking the Bombos and the Canis Samaria.
Correct.
You'll exhaust just about everything.
Yeah. And I think just from what I'm seeing, it just looks like DeepFried is just doing cleanup. So, gonna go finish off pod that he couldn't do earlier, or that he didn't finish earlier.
And now that I think about it, DeepFried can't even really go into Ice Palace. No Fire Rod, no Bombos. So at this point, I think DeepFried has a really good shot as long as Fire Rod is the next place that he goes. Hard to say.
How long does it start? How long does it take him to start checking mirror locations?
To his credit, he's done quite a lot, but this is the point of the race where the choice to skip certain things is probably the most psychologically punishing. It's pretty fun for DeepFried, assuming he doesn't go to that big chest. This is a straight shot right to the back.
And I mean, on DeepFried's side, Fire Rod is his go mode. He, if I'm reading everything correct, doesn't need. That'll get him into Ice Palace, and he knows he doesn't need Turtle Rock. So it could end up, like you said, if he makes the quick decision there.
Well, we say go mode, but there is still that torch.
True. But my hope being that he sees Fire Rod, he can go complete Skullwoods. He grabs the boots before going to the back.
That's the thing, though, is if you have the go mode, you really stop for
that's true. That is true. Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, maybe, but I could definitely see a lot of runners skipping it. Yeah,
you're not wrong.
And I'm just looking at, DeepFried's behavior so far in this race, having not seen a lot of DeepFried prior to this race. Definitely seems willing to abandon things forever.
You're not wrong about that. I will say that I know Deep pretty well. He did do a practice race where he did the exact same thing, left boots in the exact same location before. So
that's horrible. And, to Hitman's credit, a different style of approach to this race, a little more thorough in general. And that's rewarded him with the boots. It's just kind of not paid off in other ways. We haven't seen everything just yet. But as far as I can tell, were it not for some very good skips, DeepFried would be in much worse shape right now.
Yes, I agree. So as Chad is pointing out, I do believe that opens up Pyramid Fairy. So possibly likely that Deep does Pyramid Fairy. Oh, he is going back in for the big chest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Deep Fried. It's not super slow. You know, I mean, you do get there pretty quick, but
No, but it all adds up. It's all time that he could have dumped. You know, he didn't need to do.
he'll also almost assuredly do a hammer jump here, which is, you know, one more potential avenue for issues. That Skullwoods map is huge for Hitman, actually, just because of the lack of Turtle Rock map, and we will find out for Hitman's sake that is the last crystal, so that's really good info.
Yep, that helps.
DeepFried opting to mirror. Oh no.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it could be worse, but you really don't want to be coming back in for the pendant.
Right. And if he, I mean, if he should see, he should notice. Unless he's thinking he needs, you know, the item on the boss.
So if I'm just eyeballing this from a top-down perspective here, and I guess we all kind of are, if we're really thinking about it, isometrically speaking. You know, in this situation, DeepFried is really just needs that fire rod, and we'll have nothing left to really look for and do. Hitman has some potential to miss that Cane of Samaria for a little bit, but it seems pretty likely that Hitman goes directly to Skullwoods and then Mire. There aren't really a lot of good alternatives.
Right.
I guess Pyramid Fairy, that is a thing. And maybe you would do that before you go to Mire, hoping to not get burned on the cane. At least for what I've seen so far of Hitman today, strikes me as the sort of person who would value the completedness of that. Well, to DeepFried's credit, was pretty smooth until just now. Eastern Palace.
Commentator curse there.
Hey, I time traveled to make sure that would go wrong. Mothula, a relatively approachable boss here. Should be pretty quick to kill. But time sink that DeepFried probably cannot afford. That was a nice ruby catch. Alright, back to Skullwoods. Hitman gonna traipse through here pretty quickly. Some potential to have a non sequitur under the bridge item. Probably will check it.
Yeah, just because you're still looking for that cane. And yes, as everybody kind of predicted, DeepFried does seem to be going for Pyramid Fairy.
Now, there is potential here to go to that South of Grove check quickly, but it looks like, yeah, DeepFried's not going to do that first. That would probably be the efficient thing to do, but you'd want to just get the big bomb at this point.
Oh, blind on the conveyor.
Yep, an exercise in patience.
Right. And I guess never noticed this, but I guess his laser beams don't work in this arena, huh?
They frequently get absorbed because he's stuck along the wall. Related note, gets stuck along the wall with Cane of Burna as well. But that is enough for the boss kill. 50 rupees to the name, and Hitman almost certainly getting the item under the bridge at this point. I'm very curious to see what DeepFried does after this, though.
Yeah, I mean, we want him to go towards the fire rod, but like you mentioned earlier. Oh, but he already did all of Zora. I don't know. He could conceivably. Is he going to walk out to Catfish?
That's seeming pretty likely. Now, Hitman, on the other hand, here is homing in on that Canis Samaria. Going to be a very frustrating find in an hour 20-ish minutes, but you know, he has no reason to think that his opponent isn't, you know, in a similar situation. Much to the chagrin of chat, there is no bird toss memes happening here. So many fans out there, SNES Chalmers. I like the NMG memes, okay? They're fun.
Oh, I have no problem. I always try to throw the bird.
I'm mostly out here just trying to avoid turtle siestas. I mean, fiestas. It's like a 2018 reference. That really doesn't make any sense to anybody anymore. There was famously a NMG commentary where there was a very not fun time happening in the bottom of the pod, and siesta and fiesta got confused. It was pretty good. Alrighty, Meyer time for Hitman. Going to fully clear this dungeon. DeepFried heading towards... I don't know.
He could be going to Cave 45.
Or Thieves. Well, yeah, I guess Cave...
No, he cleared... No, he didn't clear Thieves. Hammer Pegs?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And if this parlays into the Fire Rod, that's good news for DeepFried.
Probably Hammer Pegs. He'll probably grab Purple Chest. And because you can do K45 on the walk. It's not like he has boots to worry about anyways. So...
So as the locations kind of coalesce here, it's becoming pretty clear that Hitman is in a commanding position. With that boots advantage, plus, you know, a clear path to the end of the game, and the assuredness and the certainty of not needing boots for the torch, or not being short the boots, Hitman does have a commanding position to pull out with the victory here today.
Yeah, I think it is his race to lose. He's got a crystal advantage, boots advantage, but it doesn't look like Deep's going to get his fire rod here.
Yeah, that is the most critical news for him, and they probably abandoned that, wow, almost simultaneous go modes, interestingly enough. And as our two runners at an hour and 21-ish and change do acquire their go mode, this is a great opportunity to remind you folks, if you like what you're seeing and you see these runners and you think they're pretty cool people, I think they're pretty cool people, go check them out on the personal channels. We got like a little link in there, !C. You can do it in Twitch chat. If you're watching in VODs, you can look up their names, you know, on Twitch. They're cool people. And check them out. They put in a lot of hard work to participate in this tournament, and, you know, I believe in saluting these folks.
Yes, agreed. Definitely. Both of these are good runners. And we'll want to thank Breva for tracking today.
The unsung hero.
Yes.
And certainly a lot to keep up with today, between the Compasses bosses and also being a useful resource in the chat for the chat, as we are already hands full to begin with. A little bit of spookiness going on for Hitman. We did not get to see that on DeepFried thanks to the lack of boots and Fire Rod. We'll live an Argus fight here for Hitman, as DeepFried is now doing the Ice Palace traversal. Now, one thing DeepFried does have the advantage of here is the ability to do Icebreaker. That was not available to Hitman before. It's not a gigantic time save in the grand scheme of things considering the boots, but DeepFried is not going to be checking most of this dungeon either.
Yeah, pretty much just, I would imagine, you know, items that he can get to quickly, like this one, just right in the, you know, along the path. He's not
Yeah,
going to
he'll
go
need
out of
the
his
key.
way for big chest. Not going to go out of his way for probably Freezor or Ice Tea. Or even that one.
Good use of key. About as fast as this dungeon can be for Deep Fried.
Yep, and I believe that is all 7 crystals for Hitman.
Well, folks, you know what this is. You've watched one of these races before. We gotta find a big key, don't we?
Yes, there are already people in dropping numbers in the chat, which I do believe earlier somebody said something about not liking numbers, but
Hey, you know, numbers can be fun. Numbers can be maybe a little intimidating sometimes. You know, we all enjoy a healthy, just guess.
right.
And out of the 22 item locations that you can see in the bottom part of the dungeon, one of them is lucky for somebody. So if you had to guess, what would you throw it out there as?
So my standard calm guess is, because I want it to happen, is the 20-second check. I'm always pulling for tile room big key. But my real guess, I'm gonna say 9.
Well, I'll throw out a random 17.
Hey, that puts some puts them behind. At least gives us the chance to see the ice boss, depending on
Whatever boss it may be.
Yeah, depending on which path Hitman takes.
Yeah, there has been not a Trinex yet, and that is certainly seeming likely at this
Oh,
point.
Ice Trinex.
That would be a funny scenario for that half magic difference if there was one. Thanks to Hitman going left side swamp, we will not have that difference, but we may end up seeing the boss anyway. All right, right side to start.
So it looks like with the key, he's gonna take go all the way to compass room.
Yeah, pretty standard fare. Routing has generally been all or nothing for a lot of folks lately.
What's your preferred route, or do you have one?
I generally like Hope Room into left side.
That is mine as well. All right, here. Deep. Oh, he's passing him up. Oh no.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but he has a clear path to his finish. So.
Oh god. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's see if. Well, I guess we'll find out here in a second if they're going to be required.
Books and Bombos here on the right side. Hitman gonna go left.
Oh no! Not big key, but that, I mean, I think that's GG.
It's pretty brutal.
Happens.
Of course, you do have to cross into the Triforce room to claim victory, but that is certainly even more nails into that.
That's definitely frustrating. That is very rude.
And there it is. I did not count items, but that's 1, 2, 9.
Did I get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 9.
Nice.
Look at that.
I'm cursed on the comms. You're blessed.
That's literally the only time I've ever gotten it in my entire life.
Yin and yang, baby. All right, 9 is enough. Hitman now rearmed with quiver full of silvers. About to make a very quick climb.
Yep.
Still some opportunity for shenanigans on the approach. This is still boss shuffle. We'll see what we get. DeepFried having finished up Skull Woods here on the way up to the top of the mountain. Which again, I want to applaud DeepFried for even staying this close in the race, considering the things that have burned him.
Right. I mean, it's a testament to why they are in main tournaments. So.
Yeah, I'd agree to that.
Oh no. Oh no. I thought I wasn't sure if they had a fairy. I think everybody's bottles are just bees today.
Yes, that is correct. I have not seen anything but bees.
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to, but I mean, hey, it'll give Deep some time, so.
And that's the thing, is left side, approach here does get you a big key pretty quick. It gets you also the immediate shock and horror of missing that silver arrows. So, a psychological toll, to be sure. But still some opportunity for DeepFried to keep this really close. We did see Hitman die. This isn't free. He's only got 5 hearts going into this climb. I think he probably takes the safety here, but if not, more opportunity.
Oh, he's choosing. He says he can do it.
Which, to his credit, I believe in his capability. Just, bosses can be mean.
Yep. Deep going hope left, so that's going to save him cut the gap a little bit.
That's a pretty big chunk of time, all things considered. Although Boots does cut that down a bit.
Oh.
No reaction to the bow. Perhaps even relief, just knowing that you didn't need the boots. Gauntlet going okay so far for Hitman. Certainly not any bad rooms. Little low in health, not liking that. Just 4 items in. DeepFried moves on to the climb as Hitman got to take great advantage of the silver arrows here.
Yeah, it's very clean Armos.
Now, the lack of silver arrows isn't catastrophic. You can still do a pretty fast Starmos fight, but with that statue in there, it's definitely not.
Yeah,
convenient.
the shooter does make it a little bit more challenging.
Of course, we have yet to see the 3rd boss of the dungeon. And there are at least a couple of bosses that can throw a wrench into both of these runners' path. I'm expecting a Helmosaur. No, a Cold Stare.
Cold Stare? Okay.
Yeah, that's my call. Dang it.
Oh, you almost said victory. There was a moment.
Played myself.
Yep. Congratulations. But with those silver arrows, eyeballs don't stand a chance.
Yeah, the alternate methods of killing Vitreous aren't too rough, but, certainly has enough arrows to work with. 8 should be fine for Ganon. That's within the margin of error, but certainly doable. Ooh, DeepFried almost had a good setup for Armos. We'll recover decently, but lost the cook kill. arguably the most annoying thing to happen in Naga 2. You really hate when the main Aga just, ruins any shot of getting any at all on the round.
Yes. But pretty clean. Not too bad otherwise. Deep having some trouble with these Wizrobes.
Still finding it very impressive to even have kept this climb close, considering the boots difference. Getting to see an example of the newer text font.
Yeah, I'm still not. It still feels weird.
Yeah, it's a little odd. I guess Sesame Z3 players love it though. It does look nicer.
Yes.
Favorable Ganon RNG so far. Looking for a 2-in-1. So far, so good. DeepFried gonna opt for a cape sword method here, as we see Hitman working his way through the first silver arrow. Misses torch glitch, not too important. 2 and 3. And that'll be enough. Knocking one back. Hitman trying to get on the board here.
There we go. Let's get our GGs in the chat for Hitman1382. The official finish time of 1:35:39.
Yep, and with that, that'll be the first victory of the group phase here for Hitman1382. This brings our standings for the group at 2 wins for Skelebro, 1 win, 1 loss for DeepFried, 1 win on the board for Hitman, and 0-3 currently for Koi, who is still in this. We expect 6 races per player. So the way that this group ends up shaking out could end up still providing opportunity for Koi to win out in a couple of different scenarios. So stay tuned to the Group E group, as this is all but this is definitely not settled.
Oh no.
We're gonna get a lot of Group E action today.
Yes, it's a group, and it is a tough group. So that was a good, quick AGA 2 from DeepFried.
I'm so excited to see the conclusion of this one. Obviously, Hitman's got a big day ahead of him. DeepFried going to be reeling from this one, but we'll have an opportunity to try to regain group supremacy here, as this is only 2 of the races out of the 6 so far for him. Really good start here. The fight's, other than a little bit of damage. Unfortunately, the position of the trident kind of made that awkward. And a short hop. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's odd.
Once in a very long time kind of positioning for Ganon here.
Ooh, taking a bad hit. Oh! Ouch.
Might be painful, but that is a pretty cool Yoshi death animation.
You like seeing poor Yoshi die?
It just looks cool, hey, I use Yoshi as a icon, so I mean.
Well, there you go. All right.
No, blue Yoshi looks really cool.
It was always my favorite Yoshi in Super Mario World. So.
Like, I'm not gonna say I re-rolled in Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door until I got a blue Yoshi, but All right, some cape technique going on here. Grabbing onto the wall for a little bit. A little dicey right now, but kind of needs to conserve the magic.
Yeah. Yes, because he does not have silvers. So he's going to have to do silver with Ganon, get the torch glitch off.
Certainly has plenty of magic, but, you know,
Oh, for sure.
without the bottle refill, you want to be cautious.
And hopefully here we will be joined by our runners shortly when this fight concludes.
I gotta say, did you find the arrows in my tower is quite the taunt.
Yes. Yeah, Ganon, I saw him.
Couldn't miss him.
It's like, Ganon's just like, Link's short, right? I'll just put him up here. There's no way he can get him.
Well, some good patience from DeepFried here to make sure we get the triples. He's going to wait here on this fire bat again. Also shooting through Ganon. You know, so good knowledge.
Yes, definitely. It's been a good silverless so far.
Third shot through Ganon.
All right, and there it goes. Down goes the pig. GG's in the chat for DeepFried87.
GG's to DeepFried. And DeepFried will finish with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 58 seconds. GG. Looks like we have both of them in the setup room. We'll pull them up here for an interview here in just a moment. Alrighty, we are joined by DeepFried87, GG, and Hitman1382 as well, GG.
GG's, guys.
GG's.
GG's.
An interesting turnabout. Everything in this race.
Yes. I would say I think the big question is looks like one player decided to do the seed bootsless, the other did not. So it was a good showing for both of you. Hitman, what did you think of the seed?
It wasn't really too bad. Like, I mean, no Trinex, no. The only real issue I had boss-wise was running into the Argus early on, but other than that, it wasn't really too bad.
Yeah, I would wager there were even a lot of fun boss fights in this one.
Yeah, don't think I've ever had an Armos Knights in the Moldorm 2 room. I did not know what I was doing to try to set up for that and dodge the fireball. That was just like, ah.
Oh, the Landmo 2 room? Yeah.
You were pretty close on the quick kill, though. I mean, it was a good attempt to recover from it.
Yes.
Yeah, I found out in the chatting that, you know, skipping Mummy Statue Room was a big mistake in this one.
Yes, that was it was one of those things where I think we were all curious if when you went back to Skull Woods, if you were going to be able to, if you were going to check it. But by the time you got there, you were in go mode, so it was just straight on till the end.
Yep.
Well, so from a top-down perspective, since we've had the privilege to be able to watch this entire thing, and it is a fun rewatch, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. The big tail of the tape here, despite the boots difference, was really just DeepFried skipping a lot of things that ended up being all right to skip. And that kind of kept this nice and close and competitive, despite the movement disadvantage. It was really interesting to see. We did see a couple of double dips for some of the dungeons that didn't require them. I wanted to maybe ask you guys about that. I think I saw both of you guys dip into Swamp to make sure that was complete. Starting with Hitman, that big chest. Walk me through your thought process in that situation, because that was a single check to go back for.
I mean, at that point, it's, you know, it's pretty quick, so I just didn't want to orphan that, have it come back to bite me.
Yeah, and it seemed like you'd been kind of like completing a lot of these locations throughout the race. Like you didn't leave a whole lot of stones unturned.
Yeah, and like I think leaving Swamp, I was still Fire Rod, Cane, and possibly Bombos Go mode because I wasn't sure about Turtle Rock being a pendant. So being possibly three items from Go, I wasn't gonna leave that one chest there. That's pretty quick to get to at that point.
That makes sense to me. I also wanted to ask you, Deep Fried, about the whole sequence of big chest, then left side swamp. What was going through your mind in that scenario?
I forgot the mode. I just had that brain fart that usually I was trying to see if it was just one item left on Swamp, and I got there and I went, oh, this is McBoss. There's no chance there's a comper, so I gotta go back in anyway. Why did I do this?
That makes sense. Well, McBoss has been a lot of fun. Maps, compasses, and boss shuffle. I think it's definitely a fan favorite. It's a winner to watch for sure. How do you guys feel about the format? Do you guys like this particular mode?
I don't mind it. Just gotta keep in mind which mode it is. That was part of my mummy statue skip too, and it was just like, no, I had no excuse to do that one there. But it did lead me into Meyer earlier.
Yes, it was interesting. It seemed like Hitman was definitely following the progression of the seed the way the logic was intended. You were making skips that didn't hurt you, but put you in situations where you got to do, you got Kane a little bit earlier and stuff like that.
Yeah, in terms of strategy, this is a really fun race to watch on just that front alone. Like seeing different philosophies of approaching the seed.
I think the first divergence was deciding to do was Hitman deciding to do Dark Cross without the lamp. Got you the pearl. Was that just a thought of, hey, I want to, I'm here, I got a sword, I can get this out of the way and not have to worry about it?
Yeah, exactly. When I knew if I got a small key in there, I was gonna go because there's no map in Hyrule Castle, so it's definitely an item in Dark Cross. And it just happened to be the Moon Pearl. So that worked out.
It was a good call.
But then I'm thinking, okay, lamp or fire rod is needed for this. Which one is it? So then I was debating even going into Skull Woods at that point early on because I knew the fire rod could be my access to Dark World, but I was like, I'll just do the front anyway, and there were the boots.
Yeah, you're looking pretty clairvoyant to find that quickly, but just the logical implications of everything was very interesting to suss out. Well, this is a big day for Hitman. Just gonna put it out there: 3 races today, and another one on Restream even. So you're due for what, 4:10 p.m. Eastern against Skelly Bro in your group, who is currently reigning at the top.
Yeah, and then I have Koi at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And that one is expected for ALTTP randomizer channels. So for those of you out there who are maybe interested in joining Josh Bidner on the mic, if there are any commentators out there, definitely consider it. We're expecting a 3rd race for the day. Definitely want to honor that commitment to the cause. That is spiritually taxing for a lot of folks, and I'm impressed with anybody who's going to put this much into one day.
Yeah, with my work schedule and the availability of the other people in the group, it just worked out that I'd knock a bunch out today.
Makes sense, and that'll put us in a very interesting position for the group by the end of the day. So I am very excited to see what happens with that. Looks like we're mostly done here. Want to get maybe a last thought from each of you. DeepFried, any last thoughts on this seed, this race, this tournament, before we move on to the next race?
Nah, it's a lot of fun. GG's again to Hitman. Was a fun race. Glad I could keep it interesting and keep it close. And thanks to you guys for the restream and for man in the comms to be able to make it happen.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, GG's again, DeepFried. Thank you for bailing me out by avoiding those boots. I thought my GT death was gonna be it for me, but
yeah, you guys kept it very interesting. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was definitely one that made it great for us viewers.
Yeah, and thank you guys for doing the comms.
Hey, our pleasure.
Yeah, no problem.
Pardon the puns if you end up watching back.
Yeah.
Pardon them. What, is there not enough?
I mean, depending on your perspective.
It was.
Yes. Well, that's most of what I got to say. Hawk, any closing thoughts?
No. I just want to say good job, both of you runners. I mean, like I said, it was definitely a showing that it was good for main tournament. So thank you again.
Just about wraps things up for us. We have a lot of randomizer on the schedule today. Just throwing out a couple of them coming up soon. ALTTPR randomizer in 10 minutes. It's going to have Scottish Brave versus Jay Meisher. And you've got Keebs and Maximum Barnage at 5:55 on SpeedGaming 2, and plenty more beyond that. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys. You guys can read it. And for those of you joining us, in the vodcast here on YouTube, thank you for tuning in, checking out the race. You can find out more information about the tournament using the links provided in chat. And we'd love to see you hang out for another race and, maybe help out on the back side of things. That's my commentary mod plug for anybody interested in doing comms or tracking. I've been Unimanistic, joined today by Hawk. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today, and we will see you in the next one. Later, folks.